So, hello, Orna. I'd like to introduce you to Sound Your Soul podcast interview. And you're
Hi,
very
how are
welcome.
you?
You are very welcome to my interview.
Thank you so much. Thank you. It's lovely to be here.
Thank you. And I want to ask about your healing.
Yes.
How did you get started in healing?
So, Caoimhe, I suppose just to give you the background on
Yes,
me, I am a spiritualist medium and healer.
very cool.
And for me, like a lot of people, from childhood, I would have been aware of I suppose me being a little bit different and just aware that there was something something special, if you like, I felt inside of me.
Okay.
And I didn't know what it was.
Okay.
And if anything, I think I might have been a little bit scared,
Okay.
um, of what I was feeling around me, what I was feeling inwardly, because I didn't know what was happening. I
Okay.
was brought up in a very traditional Catholic upbringing. So I didn't know what these feelings were or these
Okay.
sensations, or I just didn't know what was going on, but I knew it was something, special,
Okay.
but I knew I
And
couldn't talk.
And in the spiritual world, how can you relate to that with clients?
Okay. So I'll say to you, can
Okay.
I just tell you how my awakening
Yes.
really happened for me? Because it's quite a beautiful story. So my eldest son, when he was 10, he had a near fatal accident,
Okay.
and he's lucky to be alive. He had to be resuscitated, and he was in Temple Street Children's Hospital in a coma.
Okay. Okay.
And what happened next was my reawakening of all those years in childhood that I knew I couldn't run away from anymore.
Oh,
So I fell asleep holding his hand.
okay.
And when I fell asleep, I could see him. And he was in this, I will always remember, the greenest of fields and the bluest of skies.
Oh, that's gorgeous.
He came running to me,
Beautiful.
and I went running to him and I grabbed his hand. And I woke up in the hospital room and his hand was moving.
Oh, that's gorgeous.
Yeah, a few hours later, he came out of the coma with no brain damage, no physical problems, and no memory to this day.
That is one incredible story.
It
That
really,
is one incredible story I've heard. Wow, that's just
thank
amazing, incredible.
it was an incredible experience, and I believe I had an out of body experience at that moment to help guide him back to the earth plane. And for me, then I would have sat a lot in meditation, start reading. I've done a lot of development with, I don't know whether you've heard of Tony Stockwell from the UK.
I don't believe I have. No, I don't.
He's he's an exceptionally really good tutor and medium, and he was just really for the development. It was to help already develop what was there,
Okay.
and that with my mediumship, with my angel healing, and Reiki healing,
Okay.
because it's all combined.
It is. I I had an experience as well with spirits too. And it was because my dad passed away, and um I could feel his spirit. And
Yeah,
it was so like it filled me up with love. Like my heart was just, it was mended. It was just
indeed.
mending.
Indeed. And that's how I feel each
Mm.
and every time that I do a reading
Yes.
and then when I do a healing. because for mediumship and healing, it's not something that should ever be feared.
No, no.
Mediumship is healing. It brings closure,
Mhm.
it brings peace, and it brings love. And when I feel the soul of somebody that's crossed, what it fills me with is nothing but peace,
Yeah.
happiness, and a sense of love. We have love on the earth, but this love is
Mm.
so beautiful.
Yes, I believe so. I believe so. And it's beautiful the way you're saying that as well.
Thank
And
you.
and it's gorgeous. It opens my heart so much because, I really believe in angels, and I believe in Archangel Michael as well.
Absolutely.
I always pray to him, but I know that's a more common one, like would be Archangel Michael. But I believe it's like he's my protector, you know.
Absolutely. He
Uh,
is the world's protector,
yeah,
and he is the highest ranking angel, and he is next in line to the Great Spirit or God or whoever you
yeah,
see God to be. Higher power. Archangel Raphael is the archangel I work with. He is the angel of healing.
yes,
When I do a reading, if I'm doing a mediumship reading, I'll be guided to do healing at the end of the reading. If so, if the spirit world or the angelic realm guide me to do that, and I most certainly will do that.
yeah.
And
Amazing.
because mediumship and healing is a very sacred ability,
Mhm, mhm, mhm.
and we must strive to do our best for those in the other world to help those in this world.
Yeah, I agree 100% what you were saying, because I think you're a special person that has this gift, and you're healing others as well as yourself and as well as your family, and I think it's a beautiful gift to have, you know. Um,
Thank you. And I love what I do very much. I'm at my absolute happiest when I'm communicating with the spirit world and I'm helping people. And you can see, because mediumship, for one, is about evidence and proof of life after this life.
okay, yes,
For me, it's not generic information. We must give proof of life.
yes,
And how we give proof of life is through the personality of the person that's passed, through their names. And people often say to me, "Oh, God, you got their name?" I said, "Yeah, of course I got their name, because they had a name when they were alive.
they did, yeah, yeah,
Why
yeah.
would they not have a name in spirit?" And, when you feel the healing through mediumship for the person that is in front of you, that is a very special feeling.
Mm.
And then when you're guided to do the hands-on healing at the end of the reading, the heat in my hands,
Would be on fire.
on fire,
Yeah, yeah,
as I work with Archangel Raphael. And I always say to people, I never promise to cure you,
yeah.
but I will promise to help you.
Yes, yes. Okay.
Because A, I'm not a doctor.
Yes, exactly. Yes, yes,
Yeah, I'm not trained in medicine, but what healing does is help alleviate pain, alleviate sadness, and take negativity as well away from the person's mind, body, and soul, and
yes,
the
yes.
auric field. And, you know, I do a massive amount of charity work as well.
Very good.
Um, and because I firmly believe that as a spiritualist, I'm not perfect because I'm imperfect, because I'm a
Yeah,
human.
exactly,
And humans
exactly.
are
Yes, exactly. And can I ask, do you have a book out, or is that not a
oh,
question to ask?
no, it is a question to ask, because it's funny that you ask that question,
Yeah.
actually. Over the last while, um, that has been brought to my mind about a book.
Okay.
And I think they're just giving a little message through you to me about
Very
getting
good.
on with it. Because I just, it's the understanding of mediumship because it can be lost. The sacredness of it can be
Yeah,
lost.
yeah, I agree.
Because people may have gone to people that, maybe not as gifted as they may portray, or they may give bad news. So it
Yeah,
makes the genuine mediums work and a little bit harder
yes,
because there is an awful lot of amazing mediums, amazing
yes,
healers,
yes, I agree.
and we need to I suppose we need to make people aware and educate people on the way of spirit and the way of healing.
I agree with
And
you. Yes.
because it is beautiful when it's done right.
It is. I mean, you can when it's done right, you can feel like a lot of energy flowing through you, and moving and shifting around. Um,
Absolutely.
and it's just incredible how to feel that. Really, really,
It
really.
really is.
Yeah.
It
It's
really is. And I'm a mediumship tutor as well. So I'm tutoring now at the moment, the next generation of mediums.
very good. That is a fantastic now to hear. And like, so what sort of like tutoring would you do for
So I
like beginners if they want to
so
start?
yeah, so for beginners,
Mhm.
um, I'm I'm a very honest tutor.
Okay.
So when I started the latest beginners group, I said I will be giving you assignments every week. I will be giving you practical exercises. It's done through Zoom.
Okay.
So I said I will know if it's just purely psychic that you're just purely psychic, and your development may not lead to mediumship, because although we have some ability, and I always explain it like this,
Okay.
Ed Sheeran is a fantastic guitarist,
Wow. Okay.
but if you handed me a guitar,
No.
I'd only be able to play a few strings.
Yeah. Yeah. Agree. Agree. Yeah.
I'll never develop that gift because that's his gift.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
So some people might purely develop just the psychic faculties.
Okay. Like, can I ask? I know. I'm going to relate this back to myself, but can you see spirits um when you sleep? Because sometimes I can't. Sometimes.
Okay. So when we have a very clear, vivid dream of somebody that we know that has
Mhm.
passed,
Mhm.
and they look well, and that you wake up and for a slight second you say, God, I felt that was so real. I
Yeah.
felt like they were alive again.
Yes.
That is a dream visitation from your loved one because you're at your most relaxed
Yes.
and in a deep state of relaxation. And that's when they can come close to you and let you know in this way that they are good and fine and they're watching over you.
Amazing.
I also see people when we're drifting off asleep,
Yeah.
or that faces may come up to our mind's eye that we don't know, or
Yeah.
we may dream people real clearly that we don't know.
Mm.
And this is spirit's way
Yeah.
of trying to grab the attention
That's
to the medium that doesn't even know they're a medium.
yes. Yes. Yes.
But spirits see them as a light and that they have an ability to hear them.
Yes, I think that's incredible. I think it is incredible. Like, I mean, your work is amazing because it's actually bringing people together, and it's like you're supporting their needs and and their mediumship in your work, and it is a very gifted work, and like it to a T, you know.
Well, I don't know it all.
But I mean,
Yeah, I'm a very I always say, you know, when I do a reading, when people
Yeah.
say, "Oh my God, thank you," never thank me. Thank
Yes.
the spirit.
Yes.
Because
Yes.
all the work. They do all the work. They're
Yeah.
in this high, you know, high,
High
trying to think,
realm.
yes, and a very, very high frequency. And when they come down to the airplane plane, which is a very low frequency, that takes a lot. So the
Yeah.
medium must be of high frequency
Okay.
in order to blend with the spirit. Now, I will be a trance medium.
Okay.
Uh, so and I'm also I can say it now, physical medium.
Okay. So what is a trance medium?
So trance, so you've got mental mediumship, which is all
Okay.
through the mind.
Okay.
So the trance state and physical mediumship, they are similar, but you know, there's a bit of a debate whether they are as similar as they
Yeah.
are.
Okay.
So in the trance state, it's an altered state of consciousness, a deeper state of consciousness than mental mediumship.
Okay.
So when I'm doing a reading now, I will never be in direct eye contact with the person that's in front of me.
Okay. Okay.
I'll be looking to the side of them,
Yeah.
and I go into an altered state of deep consciousness where there's just a glaze over me. And I may hear the person that's sitting in front of me, but I'm completely gone from the present moment.
Yes, that's incredible. Incredible. Like to hear this. Incredible.
With the trance state,
Mm.
your voice can change. You can have, you know, overshadowing, where there has been photographs of me where when I'm on a platform, people say stage, I'll say platform,
Mm.
where there is shadowing over me, and this is the shadow of spirit. It's their image overshadowing my face,
Okay.
and it's a deep, deep state of altered consciousness, trance.
Yeah.
It takes a lot to achieve it.
Yes.
And that's true with dedication of a spiritual practice. In my spiritual practice, I would sit in the power every day. And that's sitting within my own higher consciousness in the silence every day for 15 minutes.
Mm.
And physical mediumship, there's a lot more to trance, but I'm just
Yes.
you
Yes.
know,
That's
stepping
fine.
into it. With
Yeah.
physical mediumship, it's everything that can be seen and heard physically.
Right.
And the first people, or the first mediums, that were physical mediums, were called the Fox sisters.
Wow.
Did you ever hear of them?
I think I actually did actually hear about the Fox, but I don't know much about them.
So the Fox sisters were sisters that lived in Hydesville in America,
Okay.
and basically they were getting the sound of raps, so the sound of knocks
Okay.
and taps, which again is physical mediumship. And they very much were physical mediums, and these raps and taps in the home were very consistent and very persistent. But they took the show to the stage, and when they did,
Yeah.
there was some fraudulent
Wow. Okay.
activities added to the
To
show.
yes, yes, yes. Oh,
Although they very much were physical mediums at that present moment in time, show business got the better of them.
yeah. Okay. Okay. Wow.
I don't, but that was the beginning of the spiritualist movement, and but anything that you can hear, anything that you can see. So when you see spirit outwardly, um, when you hear their voices
Mhm.
outwardly, um, and this is going to, have you ever heard of ectoplasm?
No, I haven't heard of ectoplasm.
Okay. So ectoplasm is a substance that is produced when a medium is in a cabinet. So
Okay.
it's a black cabinet.
Okay.
Most of the time, the medium well, I would be strapped in, hands to the chair, feet to the chair.
Oh,
And,
yes, yes.
yeah, and
Okay,
it's done under ultra red light,
okay.
and a substance called ectoplasm comes from the medium's
Oh,
mouth,
right. Okay, okay.
throat area, and can form into the spirit, and it can be seen under ultra red light.
Okay.
Um, and there's very, very, very few that can produce ectoplasm in this modern day spiritist movement. And but it is fascinating, and there is a lot of stuff on YouTube about it. Um, but I'm just trying to think off the hand. My mind's gone a bit blank there. So
Okay,
yeah,
okay.
physical.
Did you ever hear about telekinesis?
I didn't know. You'll have to educate me on that, and then I'll
Okay.
probably know.
Okay, yeah, okay. Telekinesis is you can move objects with your mind. And it's very it's if you practice and practice, it's like if you want to move a bottle and
I have heard.
it's just a lot of energy would be pushed into that, into the bottle if you
Yeah,
wanted to move it, but you'd have to practice a lot to get the
yeah.
telekinesis. So you're going to push, 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 and it's like the bottle will move. That's telekinesis.
Fantastic. I have heard of it.
Yes.
I have heard of it indeed. And just they're reminding me. So also in the trance state, um, we all have spirit guides that guide
Yeah.
us through the earth plane. And when a medium is in a deep state of trance, we can have our guides speak directly through us. And it's absolutely fascinating to see. And then in physical mediumship as well, you know, the late 19th century seances were like a get together. It was the
Yeah.
big thing. It was
Yeah.
the entertainment,
Yeah.
and where we could have movement of table movement
Yeah.
and seance boards, angel boards. What people say Ouija boards, but angel boards would be
Yes.
how they were used and physically can be seen to move
Yes.
and give messages.
But do you believe that I know there's a Ouija boards out there, and I think I certainly wouldn't go near them because they will provoke a spirit up or a demon up or something like that. And would you work
So
would you have a Ouija board? Like,
I don't possess one, and I don't call them Ouija boards. For me, I would call them an angel board.
okay,
And
okay, okay,
for me, I have been trained in this.
okay,
However, I don't use them in my work.
yeah,
Um, I I have been present when they are being used,
okay,
but I'm trained in it. And
yes,
if you are not trained,
yeah,
and if you do not know what you are doing,
yeah, yeah,
if you do not know what you are doing, you're inviting
yes,
any type of spirit to come through.
yeah. That's true. That's true. Yeah.
And you definitely need to be very, very careful before you would even, the untrained should never, ever.
I so agree with you. Yes. Mm.
When it's done, and it's been done beautifully with me, and uh, I've had personal people come through for me on it with amazing evidence. But people feed the board that are not trained, and they give the spirit the information.
Yeah. Yeah. And
No,
and I want to ask, did you ever hear of a book called The Saul Experiment?
I
It,
haven't. No.
it's actually let's go over there. It's a really good book. There's a documentary on it
Okay.
on YouTube, and it was just all about these 5 people or 4 people that went in and they wanted to connect with the spirit world, and they did, and it was fantastic. They went in, I think, 100 times, and it was just amazing. Um,
Wow, I'm just writing this down. Is it on YouTube?
Yeah, I think the Saul experiment. It's a
Oh,
fantastic book. And they I think they did it for about 15 years or so, but it was
Wow.
incredible. Yeah.
You know, and it is incredible when you know you know what you're doing.
Yes.
And you know, there's obviously a prayer of intent, a prayer of protection,
Yes.
and you know, you would never feed the board. You know, you have to get evidence that this is the person who you think it is, and you would do a closing prayer, and you definitely wouldn't take your finger off the glass. You know, it's just, there's so much that you need to know about it before you should ever
Yeah.
proceed with the near one.
Yes, it's incredible. Like, I mean, I find your work incredible, and you know, it's so you know, it's so humble to work with spirits, and to feel those spirits around you, and it's I just think it's just fantastic work you do. I really
Thank
appreciate people. I really genuine people who are actually, like, you know their spirits and know what they're doing in their work, and it's amazing. I think so.
you so much. And you know, just an example
Yes.
of how we can get lovely signs from guides and our loved ones. Many years ago, I was drawn to the teachings of Silver Birch.
Ooh, okay. Yeah.
Have you heard of Silver Birch?
Silver birch. I have not heard of silver birch, believe it or not.
So Silver Birch, there were 10 books wrote on Silver Birch. Silver Birch came through a trance medium called Morris Barnabel,
Okay.
and his teachings were wrote down as the words were coming through the trance medium from
Okay.
Silver Birch. And the
Okay.
teachings were all about the spirit world and life and earth, and you know, how we need to help each other. And these books were distributed to 40 countries around the world.
Good.
And I was wondering, God, where am I going to get one of these books? When a lady came to me a few days later and she said, I've got a load of spiritual books if you wanted to add them to your spiritual library.
Wow.
And it's lovely. That's really kind of you.
Yeah. Yeah.
And there it was, one of the books, Teachings of
Wow.
Silver.
That is
Yeah,
amazing. Amazing.
yeah. And I work with Silver Birch as my main guide in my mediumship, and indeed with my healing, and with all of my classes that I tutor. And I'm very blessed to have him as a guide.
Yeah.
And you know, just because he's my guide,
Yeah.
I'm
You're
not
a
that
guide.
special.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you know, he can be your guide, he can
Yeah.
be other healers'
Yeah.
guide, he can be other mediums'
Yes.
guide.
Yes. Yeah.
I'm just lucky to have a little piece of him when I work.
That's amazing. I
Uh,
think that's incredible. I mean, I always talk to Archangel Michael, and it's
I
incredible. Like, I
call,
mean, I have a picture of him in my room, and you know, I just talk to him, and I just, you know,
you
it's amazing.
feel his presence, you feel his presence, and you feel the power of him. And you know, I do a distant healing every Monday
Yes.
night for anyone that's asked me for healing and protection. And I run a group on a Monday night, and each of us in the group send protection and love and healing. And we call on Archangel Michael and Raphael for
Wow.
many different people and situations around the world.
Very good.
And we do that as empaths,
Yes.
because the people who never ask for healing or don't know about healing
Mhm.
or are caught up in the world are the ones that need it the most.
Yes. Yes. Exactly.
So there you put
it's
that
amazing.
with
Yeah.
no.
Actually amazing, like, you know, how people, like, you know, dismiss healing, and you know, just go, oh, that's no good or whatever. And they're, yeah, you're right, they are afraid of it. And I think they probably are afraid of their own power as well.
They are, and they don't understand it.
Yeah. Oh, I have
Um,
to go in a few minutes. The time is nearly up. Sorry.
okay, brilliant.
Okay. Well, I'm so grateful for you to be on this call with me, and I
Thank you.
appreciate it so much. And what is the site that everyone can get into contact with you?
My website is www.heavenlyhealingholistics.com.
Thank you very much. I really appreciate
you.
that. Thank you.
Thank you. It was lovely talking to you. Take
Okay, thank
care.
you very much. Bye, 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 bye. Oh.